Moreno Benno on the beach at Sanur. Nice tasty coffee, breakfast, lunch and dinner, and they have entertainment with a lovely view of the beach. Look at that. How beautiful is Sanur? What's happening at Moreno?
What's happening? In this month we slow. Sorry.
A bit quiet, is it today?
Yes, it's a bit quiet for today.
No one dropping in for breakfast. What about lunch? Is that busy?
And it's not be busy. We have music.
Yeah.
We have music.
What sort of music?
It's like jazz.
Jazz.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly, jazz.
very good.
It's very shady and cool here.
Yeah, you got the big tree.
If you come in the night, it will be more windy.
What's your name?
I'm Marina.
Marina.
Yeah, how about
Marina at Moreno.
Yes, similar to Moreno and Marina. What's your name?
Marg.
Mark
And Derek.
and Derek.
Yeah.
Thank
Nice to
you.
meet you.
Nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you.
And you're from Bali?
My dad from Banyuwangi and my mom from Bali.
Oh,
so
yeah?
I'm Indonesian.
You're well, yeah, but still Bali.
Still Bali.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks,
Nice
Marina.
to meet you. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
All right, we've now wandered down to Moreno Benno's. It used to be called Benno's, now it's called Moreno Benno's and Sanur on the beach. So we're in a shady spot and we've just got a few things that we would like to say about Sanur, haven't we?
We would, yes.
So this morning we saw a YouTube video made by someone who has lived here for the past 12 or 10 months and has now left, saying many bad things about Sanur and why they left. And we just want to set a few things straight from our perspective. This is our opinion and you are free to disagree with us if you want to. What's the first thing?
The first thing is rubbish, I believe.
Garbage.
Rubbish.
Yeah. There is a lot of garbage around Sanur. All that we have seen has been in big garbage bags, not just laying open on the street.
No, it's not.
We've seen a lot of garbage trucks every day.
There are garbage trucks. Unfortunately, they're open. They do have a bit of a smell.
Yeah.
But it's got to be done. It's not Australia. It's not Europe. It's a low economy country, and you've got to take these things into account.
But it does seem that they are trying to do something about it. There's a lot more garbage collections happening. There's nowhere near as much garbage as there was.
We have seen it in the past worse.
Yeah.
But the garbage trucks do come out on a regular daily basis, and they're always full, unfortunately. There is a lot of garbage created in Bali due to the fact that its economy is based on tourism. We make the garbage more so than the locals. If you take into account how many visitors to Bali there are each year, it's in the millions, and we all accumulate a little bit of garbage, each of us.
We were just saying, even in our hotel room, there were 3 little bins, I think, and each day they were full of whatever, so...
And that garbage has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
The infrastructure in Bali is still learning how to cope with it. And I do know for a fact that there is a landfill situation in the outskirts of Sanur that is quite full. They are now offloading garbage to Gianyar, the next regency further northeast, and that is probably a little bit smaller than what the Sanur landfill area is. So it's a problem that's created by tourism. It's just exponential. The more tourists that come, the more garbage there is to be collected.
But it does look like they're trying to do something about it.
They are trying to keep the place clean and as tidy as possible by removing the garbage on a daily basis. It does go to landfill, it's not burnt, and so there are no plastic fumes, although unfortunately there is a lot of plastic waste in Bali.
Yeah. Plastic bottles.
The ecology of having recyclable product for your packaging, other than, say for example at the Sindhu night market, everything comes in a plastic box, but inside the plastic, a cardboard box, but inside it's full of plastic. So on one hand you're sort of getting there, and the other hand you've counteracted it.
And we noticed last night a restaurant we went to, which is beautiful restaurant, really, really, really nice. They served the cocktails with a plastic straw that came in a clear plastic case, bag, whatever. And so that's 2 lots of plastic that are probably unnecessary, and we would hope that that changes in the near future.
Yeah, but as far as the streets, they're not littered.
And it's not open garbage.
No,
it's not.
No.
Maybe in Kuta or Legian or...
Kuta and Legian more likely.
It's a bit different there.
A little bit different.
We're only talking about
This is
Sanur.
Sanur only.
That's all we're talking about. We're not talking about the whole of Bali at this point. The next thing was about burning off of rubbish, or burning off, and smoke and fumes everywhere.
Or smoke haze.
Yeah, we've been here for roughly a month, and we've been here many, many, many times. Not once have I seen anything being burnt in the streets. Have you?
No, never. Well, the only smoke I've ever seen was past in one of our other videos about Sanur Harbour. There was an explosion, and there was smoke accumulating from, I think, that. But that was not burning off.
That's
that
not
was
people
an accident.
burning off rubbish or anything.
No.
We did see a lot of burning off when we went up to Cinnamon a couple of weeks ago, out in the country where they burn the rice husks and use it for compost.
So that is generating organic matter. So that's completely different. That's just one of the things that they do.
Yeah, they do that, and it's a bit uncomfortable, but I have not seen it in Sanur. So just on another note about the garbage, while we think of it, our drinks just came, and this straw was in paper, and the straw itself is cardboard. So some people are definitely making an effort and making changes, and we're happy to see that. Anyway,
as long as that paper doesn't blow away onto the beach.
Yeah, I'll hold on to it.
Some people might not. They might not be as responsible as elderly
a lot of people
folk.
aren't.
But that leads me to another point about rubbish that floats up via the sea. The shoreline of Sanur is fairly clean. There is a reef situated right around Sanur Beach, and that might stop a little bit of rubbish coming through.
We're just looking at the beach
but
here.
Generally, it is clean.
And I can see one plastic bottle down there, just one.
They do clean the beaches on a regular daily basis because it looks so much better when it's clean. But there is rubbish that comes from other countries via the water, from tankers and cruise ships. Rubbish can be thrown off from there and make its way on shore. I have seen rubbish accumulate inside Sanur Harbour, but it goes actually into a containment area.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier to actually scoop out one big mass of rubbish than go and pick
But
it up.
looking all the way along here, as far as we can see, I can see one plastic bottle, which I may go and collect in a minute and put in the bin, but
it's pretty clean.
It's very, very clean.
Which is indicative of Sanur itself. They try and keep the place clean because they need to attract people such as us and yourselves as tourists to come to these places and spend your money here in there to encourage their economy to grow. We've done plenty of that, yeah, we have.
All right, the next thing that this other YouTuber commented on was footpaths and roads.
Along the front of Icon is brand new pavement, and that is about the best pavement in Sanur. We'll have a look at some more. Not too bad. A very small hole, but nothing to worry about. We've got a bit of repair work going on here, so there's a mound of concretey type mixture, but you can't miss it and you can walk around it quite easily. Pavement on the other side is in quite good order. There's a big drop from the curb though, but they do have ramps just up there, and there's one just here and there behind the bus, so you do get these ramps which make it a little bit easier so you don't have to fall off the curb. This pavement so far we've walked 500 metres or so and it's been pretty good. There are these obstacles every now and again, but you can't miss it really. Now, I guess that is in a little bit of disrepair, but not too bad. Not sure if you can see, there is a little bit of a hole where that ramp is just there, but there's plenty of footpath by the side of it. You probably wouldn't fall down that. And you get these drain access covers, which look a bit crumbly, but they're okay. You can walk in them quite easily. Maybe where you get a ramp which goes down there, you could maybe slip, but not hard to miss. Those people got by pretty quickly, so no problem there. And what you need to watch out for is offerings on the side of the road. It's been flattened, but the idea is try not to stand on them. It's bad luck, bad karma. And they are little obstacles that you'll find on the pavement.
So, what have you got to say about that?
Well,
He said they're full of holes and they're dangerous, and
that is true to some regard.
Yep, it is.
Although it's not as bad as what he made out.
No.
I don't think there are not holes everywhere with a stick pointing out. I've never seen that in all my years of coming to Sanur or Bali. I've seen holes in pavements in, say, like Lavina. They are everywhere.
Yeah, Ubud is
they're not
shocking.
just restricted to Sanur.
No.
But by and large, Sanur does have probably better paths than some of the other areas in southern Bali, at least.
Especially along the beach, there's a promenade, esplanade, whatever you want to
that's
call
perfect.
it. That's like how long? 5 kilometres or something?
It goes, yes.
And it is perfect. They've done it all up. There's part of it is for cyclists and part for walkers.
Yeah.
And it's flat and it's paved. It's in really, really good nick. In the main streets and the side streets, not so much.
A little bit different.
Yeah, and you do have to be careful, but just look where you're going. There's a lot of little tiny steps everywhere you go, and you don't always see them, so you're more likely to trip on a step that you haven't seen than you are
falling down a hole
in the ground.
Yeah.
So we just want to defend Sanur a little bit and just say that it is not as bad as some people make it out to be.
I think there is a drainage system which runs beneath the pathway or the pavement, and that's just the unfortunate past of Bali. That's how they get rid of their water. When it rains here, it rains torrentially for short periods and it floods. So the water has to go somewhere, and you know, what can you do, really? But it is probably something they have to look at in the future. The streets are narrow, but I don't think they can widen the streets anymore because of the buildings that are already in place. Resorts and so forth do take up quite a lot of space, and impinge onto the pavement area, the road area. But what can you do? That's Bali. That's part of its charm, is that it is somewhere to come, and it's different.
Yeah. It's not Australia. It's not England. It's not the States. It's Bali. So, obviously, the video that we saw this morning, those people had been to Bali several times previously. We know that for a fact because they've mentioned it in other videos, and they would have known all of this before they came. So,
if you'd done your research properly.
Well, but they'd been here before, so they would know that the footpaths aren't great. They would know that there's garbage.
We're not the greatest of walkers.
No.
I've had 2 knee replacements, and
I've had a
Mark's
foot
had
operation.
foot operation. So we have to be probably
Super
a little bit
careful.
vigilant when we're walking anywhere. But we can traverse it. It's you know,
And I
it's
mean,
not
you
that
could
bad.
turn your ankle at home. You know.
As I nearly did walking into an Icon,
Yeah.
and that's a brand new building.
Yeah. I mean, you can hurt yourself anywhere. Just be careful when you're walking around. Keep your eye open for steps and cracks in the pavement, and you'll be fine.
Just be aware that they are there.
We were saying also that the tourist tax has only been in effect since March this year, and obviously we haven't seen any sign of that yet being used locally, but it's early days and not everyone is paying the tourist tax. That's one thing. It's $15 when you enter Bali. It's not that much. So hopefully in time, they will start using that money. But we think that at the moment they're using it for the new...
There is proposed new motorways up north, past Ubud.
To a new airport.
The airport that has been still in suggestion mode.
One day
they think
it will
it's going to
happen.
go ahead, but that is funded by a Chinese enterprise.
So you'd hope that the tourist tax would start having some effect. But it's Bali and everything takes time here. So
there is a little bit of an issue with how that money gets to be spent.
It'll probably take years.
It will probably take a long time.
But anyway,
it's a developing country and it's developing slowly. I think it's more focused on the tourism at the moment, but that's basically what Bali is. It's a tourist country.
So if you're thinking of coming to Bali, especially to Sanur, come to Moreno, come to Sanur. It's beautiful. It's hot as hell, but it is absolutely beautiful. The beach is clean. If you've got little kids, they can easily go for a swim. There's no big waves. It's just so pretty, and they are trying to clean the place up, and it's nowhere near as bad as Canggu or Kuta or Seminyak or Legian. Come to Sanur. That's our advice.
That's right.
Especially
if you want perfect happiness and fulfillment from your holiday, there's always the Hyatt resorts, the Andazes, the Intercontinentals, all those places which are self-contained with their own beach, their own pools, their own entertainment.
There's very high-end accommodation, very low-end. If you're a backpacker, you can get a decent room with a bathroom for around $300,000 a night, which is $30. And so there's a range. You don't have to be an old person to come to Sanur. There's plenty of things to do here. There's bands playing at night. There's bars. Come to Sanur. It's good. Don't listen to the people who say it's bad.
No, it's a great place.
Yeah. And if you want to leave a comment, please do. We're happy to hear your opinion.
Comments are turned on.
Yeah, we've got our comments turned on. Some people don't. So we'll respect your opinion too. So thanks for listening. Hope you love Sanur.